Hello once again, and welcome back to another Getting Technical video. I'm Care Director of Training, Tim Bradley. And today what I'm going to walk you guys through is a total activity time report on Garmin. So this is actually a report that isn't necessarily used too much, but it's obviously right there in your reports in Garmin, and you've got your total activity that goes along the side here. So that's actually in minutes. So the total amount of activity that you have in minutes is listed right there. And then you can actually pin it down to 7 days, 4 weeks, 6 months, or a year. This is generally a report that you want to be looking and thinking big picture. So, if you're looking back at a training segment, if you're looking back at a year of training, this is really what you want to be looking for in terms of this total time and the pattern that you followed throughout the year. So, you're looking for any breaks from injury. You're looking for how much did you ramp up your training? How much did you taper? Kind of big picture things over, longer periods of time. This report is a great way to see a couple things. One is obviously how much time you're out there, but two, kind of how efficient you are with your time. So if you're looking at this and you're starting to realize like, well, I really only train 3 or 4 hours a week, could I actually increase that and add a day of running or go longer on my long runs. It's a good way to kind of see how much time, you're actually putting into your training. And if you feel like you're being efficient with that time and getting what you want out of it, or if you feel like you need to increase that amount of time. And so, this particular pattern over a 6-month period of time, obviously, this particular person is ramping up their training as they kind of get deeper into summer. And then you have a little bit of a lull, either from an injury or a taper for a race, and then you pick it back up. So, most patterns that you see in, summer marathon training are obviously going to be increasing from month to month. So you're going to see a ramp up. And then obviously as that person gets closer to their key race, they're going to have some type of taper. And if they're doing multiple races, you may see a gap and then they ramp back up for another race. But it kind of just depends on how each person's, 6-month training segment pans out. A couple other patterns to look for though, is besides just your general step up pattern and then taper, we've talked a little bit about this before, but if you are, new to running and you're trying to take a more conservative approach to stay injury free, then you want a more gradual step process. So where you're just going up a little bit each month and it's very gradual. If you're somebody that is a little bit more advanced, then these can generally ramp up quicker and have kind of bigger gaps between them. So you might see a quicker ramp up for somebody that's a little bit more experienced. But it really is, again, a big picture, type of report where you're trying to see like when it's all said and done in a training segment in a year of training, what have you done? How much time have you spent out there? Getting in the training and, what adjustments can you make? A lot of times you might see a pattern where, somebody was kind of consistent and the training was about the same. And then they really ramped up. And then that's when the injury happened. And then they were barely able to train the rest of the way. So any type of extreme ramp up that you see where maybe you were a little bit behind in your training and then you just ramped it up kind of out of the blue and that caused an injury, this type of report will actually, kind of show you that big picture. So, but again, great data, use it to your advantage, and thanks for tuning in.